So welcome to the hot seat. Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Veronica. I'm super excited to have you both.
We're pumped. Thanks.
So right before this, we were actually having a really unique conversation. We share October birthday month.
Yep. Yes.
And you told me this really interesting story. You get a redo year. Like, explain that again. I'm super confused.
Well, I mean, I was confused too. Let's just be real. So all of this year, prior to my birthday on October 10th, I legitimately thought that I was 37 already.
Mm-hmm. A whole year of being 37.
A whole year. Like on legal stuff, I was putting I was 37. Like everybody was asking me. I told my kids I'm 37. She thought I was 30. So she knew I was 37, right?
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'm 37. I wake up on my birthday. 38 doesn't feel so bad.
Right.
It feels great. Get a text message from my mom. Hey, I cannot believe I have a 37-year-old. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're tripping. I'm not 37. I'm 38. Right? No, you're 30. We're 37. 19. So I Googled, how old am I if I was born October 10th, 1987? Right. And it said 37 years, 0 days, and whatever hours. So apparently I told them I was let down, but I guess there's light out of it. Yes, I do get a redo year.
You get a redo year.
Yes,
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to be 37 for 2 years straight. So, yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I think we need a newspaper article around it.
That would be cool. Yes, absolutely.
So you guys have had some changes recently. I know you were with the Tortola team for about how long?
Me, it was about 2 years.
About 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
7.
So
close to 8, yeah.
Yeah, it was close to 8, yeah.
Close to 8. Yeah.
So I love the Tortola team.
sure.
Love everybody on there. They're so much fun all the time.
Yep.
It wasn't switching teams. It wasn't about the team that you guys switched. What made some of the changes happen that you've recently gone through?
Well, first off, obviously we're grateful for that. We were grateful for them.
Absolutely.
We were grateful for the time that we got to share with them. It was incredible. It was a learning experience for me coming out of escrow for so long and then jumping into a real estate brokerage and getting my feet wet there, and I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for us, the change really was we wanted some growth. We wanted to expand our horizons a little bit. I think with this new opportunity that we've been so blessed to have, we're able to now grow our own brand under Coldwell Banker. Which is huge for us because, people know that we are the Carroll Group now.
Right.
And we're starting to get there, right? We're starting to get some traction with that. So I think that's one of the things. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was the hardest business decision that we've done.
Yeah. I can't imagine, yeah.
But it was necessary, yes. Yeah. But you did say it perfectly. We're so grateful. I mean, they become family.
Yeah.
Yes,
right? They were
sure.
family. And so it was a hard decision, but yes, necessary.
So you mentioned growing the brand.
Yeah.
What is growing the brand? Like, there's not many husband and wife real estate agents. And so, especially ones that I've seen really, truly brand themselves. So what does growing the brand actually look like to you? What do you want the brand to be?
Well, for us, I think it's more just a full-fledged being able to leave a legacy for not only our kids, but for just to have our name, I think was a big thing out there. Like, you know what I mean? But brand-wise, and growing the brand, I think it's just, it's a pride thing for me. I don't know. I want the real estate, I want our team, I want our group to be extremely successful, and I want it to have our name on it. I don't know if that's the right answer, but
yeah,
that's kind of where I feel. It feels good to even say it. But
we came across a lot of families that called us Oscar Tortola.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge change, I think, as well, right? It's Veronica and Sean, the Carroll Group,
Right.
versus like, oh, nice to meet you, Oscar, right? And so there's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, and
too.
I think
that feels different.
It does feel different. But I also think aligning ourselves with the #1 Coldwell Banker office in the nation.
Right.
They're legitimately the #1 Coldwell Banker office in the nation, and now we're part of that, which in itself is already growing our brand.
So tell me about that. Like, how did they get to be the #1 spot? What are you utilizing of them to help you grow your business?
Yeah. So it's a full-fledged marketing team that's full-fledged. Like, they've got a team that is handling all of our branding, everything, our marketing plans. Like, it's the touches, the sphere of influence, like, you know, the emails, the drip cam, everything is being taken care of essentially for us. It's just that we're obviously putting in the work, right?
Right.
But they've got a full-fledged team that's handling everything. I mean, we just got finished doing our whole branding, and that was a 2.5 week process.
For sure.
I'm talking bios, websites, the brand itself, photo, everything, right? Which, you know, it's exciting to do.
Right.
You know? How they got there is just the level of expertise that is over in that office.
Awesome.
I mean, you're dealing with all-stars. There's all-star agents throughout the whole thing. And so now that we're able to go, like we just left a meeting there this morning, you know, and it's like you're surrounded by folks that have done this for a long time and have been successful for a very long time, which does something to you.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Now, have you figured out a mentor there yet? Have you figured out someone that you relate with and you're like, okay, I want to learn from this person because they've been doing XYZ for any amount of time?
There's a few people. I mean, I can name them all off. I mean, there's a few people out there, like the big guys, you know, who have been doing luxury real estate in Orange County, coastal Orange County, for 20 plus years.
Now, is that what you want to do, is luxury real estate?
I think everybody wants to do luxury real estate at some point.
I think I don't.
Right? I think that's the goal for folks. Our goal is to just assist as many families as we possibly can, whether it's luxury or not luxury, right? Because, you know, yes, we live in a Corona where there's a luxury market that might be not as luxury as in Orange County, but we're still getting people in the homes. I think that's the most important thing for us.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
If luxury falls into our lap, then of course,
Right.
you know, but like our goal is to just be well versed and serve.
I'm a firm believer, and I believe this since I was a little girl, that nothing falls in your lap.
Right.
That if you want something, that you actually have to figure out how to get it. You got to work it backwards.
Absolutely.
Whether that's like, if you want to do luxury, then we're just going to be marketing in luxury neighborhoods, and we're going to start doing networking groups in luxury. What have we written out our business plan? Have we written out our game plan if we want to veer a little bit more luxury?
I think we have started to adjust a little bit into that, not like $15 million listings. I mean, yeah, that would be great, but like we've jumped into another area where we feel like it would be benefit, like, and it's close to home, right? Like Yorba Linda, that's the area that we're now hitting, and that's a luxury market, right? And so we're hitting that neighborhood. We're calling that neighborhood. We'll start marketing to that neighborhood now that our branding is all completed, and we can actually send things in the mail and then be relevant to those people. But yeah, I think that, you know, you're right. It doesn't fall in your lap.
Right.
It does take hard work, but it's something that I think when we made that decision, that was one of the things, right? And this, I mean, I guess I can even share the story of why we even considered jumping in. But I went on a listing appointment. We went on a listing appointment in Laguna Beach, called it off an expired listing, $15.5 million listing right on the beach, right? And I showed up and crushed it, right? And at the end of the day, the gentleman was like, hey, you know, I'm interviewing so-and-so from Coldwell Banker, and I didn't know who he was because I obviously live out here. And right as I left, I Googled his name, or I looked up his name, and I was like, oh, dude, this guy's got it. He's got it. Like, this guy is the king, like, out here, right? But it gave us that feeling of, dude, we can do this, because the gentleman who I spoke to, the seller, he was like, dude, I've had presentations before, but I've never had anything as professionally done as this, and I'm dealing with high-end realtors out in that area. Like, this is fantastic. Like, you showed me a lot of value, but I gotta go with this guy,
Right.
just because the name,
Right.
right? So it gave us that oomph to kind of just like, you know, we can do this. Like, we can be out here and be successful and do it.
Right.
And I think the reasoning that we didn't get it was obviously just brand recognition, unfortunately.
In that area,
In that area.
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it gave us the realization that this is possible.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I
Right.
think definitely, like, if you build enough rapport, if you put enough time into it, enough energy, if you really flush it out, then absolutely 1,000%.
For sure.
That's a great thing. So you've been in real estate for how long, Sean?
It's like 15 years. Escrow officer for some time, and then real estate going on 4 years I have to renew my license next year.
Yeah. Time flies.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, what about you, Veronica?
So a little over 8 years. Yeah. Started with, Keller Williams, and then now here we are.
Now, what's been your journey? Because your journey, we've gotten married in that time. We've had 2 kids in that time. How much, we're balancing. We're at that stage of being a mom where you're balancing. How much are you in real estate? How much are you with the kids? It's this part of their ages is the hardest part.
Yes.
When they're younger and mobile.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's a lot. It definitely is a lot. And so I try to balance and just give time for everyone, to the business and definitely my kids. Yes, they do require a lot of time. And so I've had them since they were born. And so it's been extremely hard to kind of just let go 100%. And so I do things. I feel like I'm half part-time realtor, part-time not. I still help in the business, do the open houses and attend the appointments. But, I'm mom all the time, full-time. And so it's the mentality of just switching over. It is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But yes, so just to finish up the story, my mother is stepping in, and she will be taking care of our little one. She's 2, and so she's still at home. My son is going to kindergarten, so we'll definitely be able to have more time to focus and do more in the business.
So I can tell you, I started my company when I was pregnant with Lexi, or very close to, a little bit before that. So she's turning 13 in a few weeks.
Oh my.
So I literally had her on a Friday, and I was working again on a Monday. And when I say work, I'm not talking about what I do now type of work. It was still a little bit in, a little bit out. But the switch over in between, okay, focus on what you have to do professionally. Oh my God, the baby's hungry.
Yep.
Oh my God, the toddler's running around. It messes with your brain a little bit.
It's a lot.
It's almost in your constant brain fog. It gets better when everybody gets to at least TK, TK and up, but then you can start schedules and routines with yourself, which is mentally healing. Yeah. But I can still tell you this to this day. So, I work weekends as things come in, on call type of thing. But it's, maybe a couple hours, a half day on Saturday and just a few hours on Sunday. So it's enough time where I get to zone out with the kids. We'll watch Harry Potter, we'll cook, we'll do all the things. And the mindset switch, even just not all the way off, but even just a little bit off, switching back into business frame of mind, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I actually talk about it a lot with my husband, because it's for a mother, and that's the only perspective I have. Yeah. It is 2 straight different personalities.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Where it's one is the nurturing, the loving, maybe whip them in shape a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other one is, we got to get this done, and a lot more strategic and intentional
different
in everything
roles.
I do.
Absolutely.
So you're in the heart of it right now.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. So I definitely step back a lot. Again, I do help when we need to, right? Right now we're busy, and so I have to step in. But it is extremely difficult to balance, even just being a wife as well, right?
Right. She already called you a pain in the ass. It's fine.
That's fine. I know I am a pain in the ass.
It's just we play a lot of roles, right?
Yeah,
and so
do play a lot of roles.
Hard.
But there is a role in this that's a little bit on the in-between. Real estate agent to mom, and that is the actual client concierge role, is what I like to call it. That's thinking through the gifting, the thank you cards, the stuff that doesn't take the kicked in your teeth day to day of it.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the most pivotal roles, and I think it's the role that's missed and lost,
of course,
so quickly. So if you position yourself and get to do that, I think you'll have the best of both worlds for a little bit of time.
I do think that, to piggyback off that, she does come, and I've told her this since probably the beginning, is that Veronica is very good at leading with her heart. Mm-hmm. And I think more so than ever, it's now because she's doing it more so now because she's a mother, right? Mm-hmm. So when she's out there, when we're talking with our families and we're having these discussions with our families about real estate, it's not like it's not a business. It's not a business transaction. We don't even call our clients. We call them families, because we just it's something in our brain that it's it doesn't register. It's like if I'll type something up and she'll be like, you put clients.
It's families.
Sorry, it's families.
Yes,
right?
I'm the same way.
But she's leading she's leading from her heart in all of the conversations that she's having with folks, and it's beautiful to see because they see that, and it comes off as genuine and real and loving, like. You know what I mean? And I think it is something that we're missing in this industry is the wholesomeness of it.
Yeah, I think a little bit of both is mixed. So I think you have to hit two nails on the head. Like one, how many families am I going to serve this upcoming year needs to also be put into what's my intention, what's my business plan for the year. You can have both. Yeah. You can be genuine and loving and be intentional about it at the same time. Yeah. And so with the both of you, what I love, it's really unique, is you just decided one day to blow up your world for all the great reasons. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, okay, we can do this. We are going to create our own brand. This is what we want for our children, what we want for our family, which makes complete sense. But then you look at what market you want to be in, what brokerage you want to be in, and you're positioned yourself with, like you said, the number one cold war in the nation. Yeah. So you position yourself to have really great mentorships. For sure. That with that genuine background, like how many families are we going to serve this year? Oh, I would really attack business planning with like writing at the top, how many families am I going to serve this year? And then go down it intentionally. Yeah. Right. And figure out the wording of that. I think that's a brilliant thing to do. Yes. And then you can divide and conquer each role that you're supposed to lead. So
noted.
For you would be like director of lead generation. Right. You're bringing in the business, but because you're so loving and nurturing, you're going to convert the business over to help them come with you guys with your brand. So you really have director of lead generation, director of lead conversion in it. So I think playing off those dynamics, you guys will have something, and you'll be able to be a mom and the whole thing as well, which is just as important in the family dynamics.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for putting it that way. Yeah. It was so pretty.
Yes. It was perfectly said.
It was.
I'm going to look back at this recording and I'm going to be like, okay, we got to write it down. Yeah.
Exactly. Wait, what's my job?
I'm the lead generational director.
Yes.
Now, Sean, going back to you, you mentioned that you were an escrow before.
Yeah.
What has your escrow experience given you?
Oh, my God.
Other than outside of just walking off the street as being a real estate agent, what perspective do you have?
I hold very firm and true to the belief that everything in real estate is fixable because I've seen everything. During escrow, and I mean, you can attest to this too, just because you're on the lending side, you're the backbone of it too, right? But in escrow, like I saw everything under the sun. Every issue,
an immersive issue.
Every day it was something new.
Escrow officers are not paid enough.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no. I do not think so either. But it was, you're playing the role of not only the mediator, but like I was everything. Like there was times when I'd be at the table with people who are going and fighting with their brother and sister because of a trust issue, and I have to sit there and kind of not be the trust attorney per se, but kind of be there to kind of hold everybody together and say, look, it's going to be okay. We just have to. I've seen it all. Like I've seen the deaths. I've seen this. It's just nuts, right? I've seen things pop up at the last minute where it's like this deal is dead now because unfortunately this wasn't taken care of properly or whatever it may have been, but there was a way that we were able to get it fixed. So when a problem arises in our business, right, or a stress occurs, I hold myself to just like, you know what, hey, not that I'm not worried about it, because I am. Of course, everybody gets worried.
But there's solutions for everything.
I know that there's a solution for it.
He's the most positive person that I've ever met, and he helps tremendously in the business.
Oh, because, for sure.
Things do happen, and he keeps
in every transaction.
Calm. In every
and it also
and so he keeps everything calm.
Yeah, I mean, it also helps me. It also helped me understand the process, right? When we have our buyer's consultations now, it's like I know exactly what's going to happen from moment of offer acceptance all the way until close. Like I get it. This is when I can probably pinpoint the exact time that you're going to talk to your lender about signing docs or what. I just know.
Right.
Hey, let's make sure we get all of this in order because escrow is going to ask for it.
Right. Right.
The lender's going to ask for it.
Right.
So let's make sure we have it ready.
Right.
Because God forbid at the last minute something happens and it's like, oh wait, shoot, I forgot to tell you to do that.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. When there's a transaction where something doesn't go wrong or where you don't have to be solution based, you're like, wait, are you sure? Did that happen? What?
Yeah. Sometimes you miss it, right? You're like, what the heck? That's weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very smooth.
For sure.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Now, how do you two balance? Because you're both in this together. You know, you're from the escrow background, so although you might be super happy and positive all the time, you're still waiting for the other shoe to drop. Your processes are trying to mitigate those shoes as much as possible. So I'm assuming your brain is always going then.
Oh, for sure.
So how do we turn it off and actually be a family or husband and wife? Have we figured that out yet, first of all?
I think we're still kind of working on that.
We are.
You know, it gets to the point where, I don't know, I'll let you talk. You go. I've been talking a lot, but...
We do catch ourselves talking business all the time, constantly. And so, you know, we did agree to at least put business aside when we're having dinner, when it's breakfast time, when it's lunchtime, when we're sitting at the table together. That's when we just need to turn it off.
Or our
it's
phones
extremely
away?
hard. Our phones away.
Okay.
Business talk. Because it got to a point where our kids are praying, I hope mommy and daddy help another family.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
that was just a little bit too much. And so it's important for them to know what we do, yes.
Right.
And it's important to know why we're gone, but it's too much. So we just don't conversate about business when it's quality time.
When it's quality time.
And it's hard because we know the business, and so it's so easy to just bring up
all the things that's happened, or this popped into my head.
Yes.
We
Oh my
should
gosh,
really
we
do
should do
this.
this.
Yes.
And it does happen
Holy
that
smokes,
way.
I forgot to reach out to this person today.
Yes.
You know, like, and we're in the middle of, you know, pasta. And it's like, you know, it's like,
No,
you know,
we have to stop.
You have to stop.
Yes.
You know,
I think
that what we've kind of, and what we're going to start implementing, I think a little bit more, is probably setting a little bit more expectations to our families that we're helping, of like, look, this is our time from X time to X time is our dinner time.
Oh yeah, people respect that too.
Yeah, because, and then again, that makes it more wholesome, right? It's
Right.
like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
We never have.
Family
We
time.
never
we never have, but I
yes,
think it's something that
yes.
we've discussed, and I think it needs to be like, check it out. We need to actually really implement that, because, you know, your phone can ding while you're eating, and you're like, oh my gosh, that could be a lead.
For sure.
And then you're like, okay, what if I miss it and they're going to go somewhere else?
For sure.
Yes.
For
You
sure.
know?
Yeah.
And especially in this market, like, we
Yeah.
have to take advantage of any and everybody that dials our phone
Absolutely.
number.
Absolutely.
Right? Or else they're just going to go to the next guy.
Right. Right. So I think this is a good bridge into my 3 hot seat questions. So one of the hot seat, and I told you have no idea what I'm going to ask in the hot seat questions.
Fine.
Okay. So the first hot seat question is actually about relationships. So how has your obsession, and I'm looking at you, your obsession with work impacted your relationship? And has it been more difficult for you to maintain balance? And are you yupping at him a lot more to maintain balance?
Well, that's a really good question. I think that my obsession with my business, I think that this business it truly is a love story, because that's where I met my wife. Therefore, I'm obsessed with real estate because it brought me the most amazing thing in the world.
That's very smart of you, sir.
As well as my kids. So I do have there's a love for real estate. I love real estate. I truly, genuinely do. I come from a family of realtors. I've been surrounded by it. Never liked it with my mom when I was younger, because it was just like, this is just too tedious. I got to go out and farm for my mom. Really,
Right.
like, you know, I'm like, you know, throwing flyers in a dumpster just to kind of finish it up quickly. You know, like stuff like that, right?
Hey,
I never
telling your mom.
That's fine. She'll watch it. She knows about it. But like, you know, I never was in love with it then. And I think until actually, and even when I was in escrow, I was like, dude, real estate just seems like a lot. This just doesn't, I mean, it probably pays well, but I think it wasn't until the moment that I met Veronica, and she molded me into this, you got to do real estate because you can't be behind a desk. You're too good at chatting with people.
Right.
You be the
Building
face and
rapport.
building rapport in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, then I started feeling it, like when I started meeting with families and I got my license, and it was like, oh my God, this is such a great feeling, you know? So I think my obsession with real estate has to do a lot with her, but it also has a lot to do with being able to, you know, serve the families that we do, because there's nothing more important than passing along something to somebody that is going to elevate them for the rest of their life, right?
So how did your mom and dad then influence? So this is another hot seat
Yeah,
question.
for sure.
How did your mom and dad influence what you should do or be as a realtor?
Oh, I mean, we pick their brain as much as we can. I mean, I think that, we still do. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they are incredible real estate agents.
Yes.
They've been around the block. They've built a family through real estate. They've created memories through real estate. They have something that, there's a thing, and I'm sure Veronica will touch on this too if you ask her the same question. But my mom and Robert are they're the kings of gifting and touching. Like, they are
Raving fans.
They are creating
fans.
raving fans.
Yep.
My mom will go to a baseball game, our son's baseball game, and knows all the people there because she's dealt with them before in the past and she's kept in touch with them.
Right.
So I think that's one thing that we try and implement is like, look what mom's doing.
Yeah.
She is doing it by the book.
Right. Her job is relationships. She happens
relationships.
to do real estate. Yeah.
She happens to do real estate. Exactly.
I love it.
That is one thing that I think that my mom kind of stresses on us this most, right? Is like, look, just make sure that you're always around, you're always touching, you're always doing something, you're volunteering here, go to the school and volunteer for the trunk or treat, or go to the school and volunteer for whatever. But be top of mind for people because that's how you're gonna attract them in. They're gonna know they know what you're doing, but they'll really know who you are when you're around.
I agree. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So final question. What's next?
You answer that one. I'll let you answer that. I think that's a good question for you to answer.
I don't know. What's next?
I mean, what's next? I think is going to be huge. I mean, I want to take over real estate. I want to grow our business to a point where it's like we have assistants and people that are doing it with buyers agents. I want to grow a real team.
All right.
So
it's a baby step into that for 20.
Baby step into that, and I'm and I think it's just we're blowing up. We're going to blow up. Like, we're going to blow up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, we made this jump for a reason, and it's coming to fruition, right?
Yeah, we gotta stick to the plan and
go back to basics
and growth.
And just keep going.
That was the reason why we made the change in the first place. So we have to, follow through and keep pushing and yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great market to get your bearings in. It's a great market. I mean, this market stalls out, every 2 weeks or so with interest rate, heart rate monitor. So it's a great time for you to build the brand, to figure out what your processes are, and to serve families first. So I love that. That's something I believe in as well. So I think that's super cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do next year.
Yes.
We can't wait. We're so excited and God, we're just so blessed with all the opportunities that are coming.
Absolutely.
Truly am. Wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you both for being on today.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you
was
for
great.
having us.
Thanks.